this party started then.
Yes, folk festivals do affect people's lives.
Ciao, mamma.
Where do you think we are going? Where do you think this will lead?
Next year we're bringing a screw gun.
Welcome to the chaos.
The festival itself starts with nothing out there except grass, dirt, and trees. And we have to go build the site. That means everything.
We had pasta, homemade Italian sausage on a bun, calamari, zucchini sticks, rigatoni aglio olio, top seller.
You guys come and get these sausages, yeah.
This stuff is absolutely killer. Wow. Look at those chilies in there. Oh.
This is electrical power.
Power from that box to the site out there. This is called a quick solution to a problem that hasn't been dealt with until this minute. And since time is out, we still have to do it for this year.
So it's building a city of perhaps 15,000 people a day for 4 days. For 4 days, we're about the 4th largest city in Manitoba.
Well, it's a little wet. You know, not much fun, but...
You're going
well, you're a truck somewhere. Stage 5 is the lake, yeah, Lake 5. Because usually we get set up and running today, right? Like they're all working and make sure that gives us an extra day in case there's any problems to repair them. So not this year. We're flying by our RCs this year.
It was really ugly yesterday, and then today, well, we had no choice, so we just go. You know, this has been going on for how many years, and weather is always an issue. And yet, it's always a big success, and it's always a great festival, so.
The people still come even if it rains, you know. Music takes care of that. Everybody will show up.
You have to put the coat hangers in the top before you lift it up, eh? Yeah. We're just getting some air in here. Does anyone know that?
I'll tell you what, though, the weather stays like this, it's going to be nice and hot and lots of mosquitoes.
Is there a certain way to tie these knots down? No, just,
And lots of fun.
It was launched in 1974 as a one-time event to celebrate Winnipeg's centenary.
Mitch Podolak had the idea of doing this, and he'd been doing feature documentaries for CBC. Always loved the music and decided it was a way that he could have a great big party and invite all the musical friends that he had admired for so many years. And so, much to his surprise and everybody else's, the thing was a huge success beyond his wildest expectations. And that was really the birth of the festival.
We had no idea. We told this big lie. We're going to create this big folk festival, right? The lie came true, and then we were stuck. We had to do the damn thing more years. And
oh, it's grown from you know, from being an all-acoustic affair to being something that's much more eclectic and I think a lot more sophisticated than it originally started out to be.
He said he'd be here shortly after 5.
Now, what made you get here so early that you could be up in the front line?
Well, so you're at the front of the stage and not behind 1,000 people. You've been here a few years, so you know better.
I know, I just got here. I stood in line back there, too.
We've got great seats. I've never been here before, though, Becky, so I'm not sure exactly how this works, but according to my partner, we get almost front and center.
Creating a festival is very much the same as a choreographer creating a dance, or a writer writing a book, or a painter painting a canvas. I mean, I look at it and I think to myself, this is going to be one that I'm going to enjoy.
Yes, friends, this is the Winnipeg Folk Festival, where our motto is always a good show, often a great one, and I do believe we have a fine lineup for you tonight. This is the 18th edition of the Winnipeg Folk Festival. The festival is now old enough to drive, and more is the pity to drink.
Winnipeg Folk Festival is a coming together of thousands of people who've never met each other before, and where they get immersed in an art form called folk music, which is integral to every society in the world. And they discover that not only is it good music, but they have a hell of a good time listening to it. And they go away humming the tunes, you know. And before you know it, some of them are buying banjos and some of them are buying fiddles, and a couple of years later, they're coming knocking on the door of the festival organizer and saying, please, can I play in your folk festival? Come and ride with me, baby, while the moon is shining bright.
It's a community that many people that sit up here, we see them once a year. And we don't know a lot of people's names. We just know each other because we're always up here. Could they be deeper? Did they have a more bass sound? Or
Where depth comes in?
It's the only place I've ever gone to where there was 50,000 people and it was like a small town. This is a place where there's a lot of mutual commitment. Everybody comes here because they feel like they're peaceniks or something like that, or they're environmentalists.
I want you to know that he has been talking about the Spoon Man since we saw you, and he practices at home.
What would you like?
Watch this guy, guys. Close this up. Look! Honey,
Stan Rogers was not just a songwriter, as you'll discover this afternoon. He was a character of some depth, and some crudeness at times.
And it figures that the rain takes its own sweet time. You can watch it come for miles. You catch, you got a while. Leave the throttle out ahead. Every ride's a game.
What it does is bring together a group of musicians on one stage and let them create something around a suggested title. Additionally, it gives the audience a chance, an opportunity to connect with the artists on a real intimate level.
And the road it's so the friend can show this stubby thing is racing, and it's a big passer with the song, and he passes off punches bloody faces.
What the organisers try to do is present the broadest spectrum of music as possible to people and say, this is real music. You know, you can call it what you like. You can call it folk, you can call it bluegrass, you can call it country, rock. It's real music performed by real musicians.
So I wrote a song all about the visceral process of songwriting, and it's called Songwriting Blues. And it's all about working your ass off and nobody appreciating you. No.
Having trouble with my meter, I'm trouble with my rhyming. I wish to God that I was Paul Simon. The little fat ass has more talent than he can use.
When you're preparing this kind of a festival, you want to make sure that you've covered a lot of bases musically. You want to make sure that people will be challenged by the music, that it will give them pause to think.
I don't think we're going to be playing any other type of music but dancing music. So this is where you boogie for real.
We get, hundreds and thousands of applications here every season. I look for the whole gamut. I really do. I mean, I try to field a series of candidates, to get a group of people who are mixed in their, in sort of their progress.
And a tear came rolling down. Will she kiss me goodnight? And I know she may goodbye.
I mean, when you have artists like Eric Bogle and Guy Clark and Townes Van Zandt and Steve Earle and John Prine, that you've hit the top of the songwriting market. I mean, those are guys who are really in their prime as songwriters.
Blow up your cheek, throw away your pipe, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, and eat a lot of peaches, tramp and Jesus on your own.
Then you have a whole bunch of other, other artists who both share their artistic experiences and learn from those guys.
Microorganism, the microorganism.
I mean, that's a really important thing that happens at the festival, is that sort of commingling and hanging out together and sharing chops and trading songs and so on.
Looking back, it's like a convention for folk singers. They never get a chance. They meet in airports, or in bus stations, or occasionally they'll see each other. But here, they get together with their peers.
And it's just a real education. As a performer, when you're a solo, you're always traveling by yourself, hearing your own songs, which is fine. People like my songs. But for me, I want to hear other things. I don't listen to my own records in my free time. So here, it's like very concentrated. I try to see a lot of the music as much as I can.
Here, what's wonderful is you get to walk around and really be part of the audience. I found myself walking on the way to my workshop and get stuck in some other artist's workshop just with the audience enjoying it, and really we get a lot out of it.
where you're up there, you do a couple of songs, and then somebody else gets up and they do a couple of songs, and you get a chance to bounce back and forth and, you know, feel secure, feel insecure, feel like, gee, that's a really good song. You know, and you go home, I go home every night and I've got my little notebook and I'm like scraps and little bits that hopefully I'll pick up on later.
Mostly meeting other performers and finding out all the things you think are weird in your life aren't so weird at all. Everybody has the same kind of trials and tribulations and frustrations and joys.
A lot of times it's kind of scary because you know you're going to run into people that you probably have met, and you're afraid that you won't recognize some people, and so you kind of say hi to everyone real nice.
Howdy.
The sky was violet, music was heard from on high, cool rain was washing all of the dirt from the sky.
We try to provide them with as much caring as we possibly can to satisfy all of their needs.
Hi. Enjoying the workshop.
They have the best food. It's healthy. That's how musicians judge the festival, the food.
Oh, the food is A1. A1. It's great food. Let's see if I got my ticket.
Cooking for 1,500 people in the middle of a field with 100 volunteers, many of whom have never cooked before, certainly not for crowds like this, with equipment that sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. And
yesterday we cooked 750 pounds of turkey. But it's somewhere in the neighborhood of between $20,000 and $24,000 worth of food, I suppose, something like that.
here's all our recipes. Today is sort of a North African meal. We're doing a chicken tangine, which is chicken in a apricot sauce with couscous.
It's a family. Leslie and I, between the two of us, have probably been volunteering for 30 years. You know, myself for 15 and you for 16, 17 years. So, you know, we just keep coming back because it's just, the energy in this place is unbelievable, you know, and it's sort of, you get this incredible adrenaline rush in the kitchen, you know, wondering, is it going to pull off? You know, I call us, I mean, Rosalie produces the show out front, you know, and puts it on stage, and basically I look at the kitchen as very much as sort of an artistic production as well.
The thing that I noticed when I first started attending the Winnipeg Folk Festival was the commitment and the dedication of the volunteers was spectacular. As a former musician, I came out of the rock and roll world, and my first reaction was, oh, so this is where all the nice people have gone, or have been for all these years.
With the volunteer stage crews that we have, they're, you know, like, they're usually really good at what they do. And, our work is kept down to a minimal.
Don't walk in front of me, please. Thanks. I'm going to get stuck.
Schlepper is a cog in the wheel at the Winnipeg Folk Festival that moves equipment to and from all the stages.
Can I get a slipper to help you? I've got a suitcase and a bunch of stuff over here.
Okay, I'm just trying to find your driver. It's Yiddish. That means to move from here to there.
Do you have a motto?
You haven't been anywhere until you schlep with us.
That's right.
We're a very, very loyal audience, and a lot of people are multi-year attenders.
How are you today, huh? You what? Good. Are you ready to go for another day? That's super.
This is my 9th year. The best survival tips is just to be prepared for all sorts of weather and conditions.
These fanny packs, they call them.
And you have to have something to sit on the ground, but otherwise it's too long of a day.
I'm like everybody's Jewish mother, you know. I said, look, you're coming to an outdoor event. The festival is not in a theater. Come prepared. In 1986, Ladysmith Black Mambazo got on the stage and it started to pour a storm. And what you saw was not the audience running for shelter, right? But you saw that entire audience turned yellow. Everybody got on their slickers, their rain gear, And they sat and they enjoyed it, and it was a special bonding experience, and I'm sitting here and I've got goosebumps.
What is it like going to this festival with small children? I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't. It wasn't very much fun the last time we were here 10 years ago. So, but, you know, when they get to be 8, 9, 10 years old, they're a little easier to handle.
But there he is.
And he got a watch this year, and he kept track of time and checked in with me every once in a while.
What makes you go through so many hoops to come here every year?
I think two reasons. One, I have a lot of friends here. I used to live in the upper Midwest, and it's kind of like a family reunion of people I know from northern Minnesota, from Manitoba, from North Dakota, people I've worked with, people we've done concerts with and stuff like that as promoters. And the other reason is it's a good place to see a lot of new music or a lot of artists at one time and decide, you know, who we're going to add to a playlist, or who I want to feature on the radio, whose records I want to get, or who we might want to try and bring up to Sitka for concerts. And also, it's a group of people who there's generally shared beliefs in world peace, in world understanding, and trading of cultures.
We're really happy to be with you. We have a wonderful international program today. We have some technical problems with all these instruments coming in and getting everything set up.
Что мы побывали в Америке, в том числе в Канаде, и участвовали вот на таком прекрасном фестивале Winnipegском.
Is their first time abroad, and they're very happy to be in America, and especially in Canada, and especially at this high-level Winnipeg Folk Festival.
When artists come to Winnipeg from the Soviet Union, they bring with them their culture, their history, their involvement, in addition to their music.
I get to talk a lot to some of the Russian acts or the Haitian, and I don't speak any Russian, I don't really speak much French, but you feel that there's some kind of a real closeness.
Well, music is a universal language. That's why most of us love it so much. I mean, I travel the world, I say that advisedly, playing my music. And there's common themes of humanity that run through us all, no matter where we come from. And music is the glue that sort of binds it all together.
Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife now me and my wife departed. Gonna take a stroll downtown. Irene,
Coke cooler and 2 pieces of equipment sits in the little tiny trailer that's out back there. Everything. It's like a magic act. But you have to hang out for 5 hours and work very hard to do it.